Hey Snake, nice
Snake.
to see you, man.
How are you, bud?
I've been working here in Bogota for 33 years,
Wow.
so what can I say, man? I'm a Skid Row fan since the first album, I sure play all of them. And I missed the concert back in the 2009. I was in Bogota, but let's start with that question, brother. What do you remember for that visit right here in Colombia for the first time from Skid Row?
Yeah, I remember we played Medellin, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know Bogota. You play Bogota?
Play Bogota and Medellin.
Yeah.
And I remember in Medellin, we went to a place where they sell the most amazing fried chicken I've ever had in my life.
Good regards.
Ironically enough, there's a woman that lives in my neighborhood that is from Medellin, and she knew exactly the name of that place. I can't recall it right now. It was like checkers or parachutes or something odd like that. But I'll never forget that. And the street food was great as well.
All right, so that's so good to hear that you have some good regards for our country.
Well, the audiences were fantastic, but well, I think I can speak for everybody saying that we all really, really enjoyed our time down there.
Okay, Snake. As I told you, I know the band very good. I've been playing your bands on the station since I started doing radio here in Bogota. So let's go to the point, man. The gang's all here. What a good record, brother. First
Thank
of all,
you.
Congratulations. That was the record I was expecting, since Sebastian left,
Right.
I don't know how to tell, I like things thick skin. I like revolutions, but this gang is all here is incredible. So I have a lot of question for you, and we have
Great.
short time. So
Yeah, sure.
let us know all the recording, everything that involved this brand new album.
Well, it was a process unlike any other process we went through before. We had started in like 2017, 2018 writing
Wow.
like just kind of casually, I guess you could say, writing songs for the record. And as we approached what would be the pandemic, obviously no one could see that, or we couldn't see that coming. I'll just speak for ourselves. We had a good amount of songs written, and we started working on the album as a whole. And then, kind of coincidentally with the pandemic and everything, we felt that how the record was coming along wasn't where we really wanted it to be at that particular time. So we stopped. The pandemic kind of made us stop. We got all isolated for a very obviously like 18 months. We were isolated. When we started opening up again, at that particular point, Rachel had met Nick Raskulinecz through some mutual friends in Nashville. And Nick had expressed his desire to make a Skid Row record. So Rachel called me up and says, Nick Raskulinecz, who he is? I'm like, of course. He's got an amazing reputation.
Totally.
Made some incredible records. And yeah, he goes, well, he says he wants to do a record with us. So we both, with our cynicism coming out, we both were like, he's just being nice. Being from one Jersey guy to another, he was being nice because Nick's from New Jersey.
All
and
right.
Next time they saw each other again, Nick was like, I'm really serious. I want to make a Skid Row record. So Rachel called me up and he goes, dude, he's really serious. We should talk about this. And so we sat there and decided, man, this could be really something special. And so we took care of all of the logistical stuff, which was very easy. And then we all got on a Zoom call with Nick and said, okay, what do you have in mind? And his thing was like, look, I want to make the quintessential Skid Row record. He goes, I know your music. I've been a fan for a long time. I feel, this is Nick talking, that Skid Row has gotten away from the essence of who Skid Row is. He goes, we need to go back and find that essence. Not that you're going to be this 22-year-old kid again, but what got you to, what inspired you to create those songs? What inspires you to play guitar? What inspired you to start a band? All these things. And it rang a bell for all of us. For me personally, I started thinking about all that. And it was about, for me, that I realized I was still that same 16-year-old kid in front of his mirror, pretending to be Ace Frehley or Eddie Van Halen or Randy.
Yeah.
And that's who I still am. You know, your life is like an onion, you know, like you still have that heart, that fire, but there's layers that grow over top of it as you progress through life. And we just needed to peel that back a little bit as individuals and collectively. And so when we got to that point, we were like, okay, we get it. That's awesome. How do we go about doing this in this day and age? And he says, well, we're going to go into the studio and we're going to crank all the amps up, set up the drums, get in a circle, and we're just going to deconstruct and rebuild these songs. And that's what we did. And we quickly realized that, number one, we had never done that before. It was basically, we came in, the songs were finished, we showed them to the guys in the band. They made those songs. They added their emotional value and essence of who they are as musicians to the song to make those songs their own. And from there, we realized too that in order to do this, we were still going to be able to do all that, but we had to be able to let go of the songs, of the attachment, the personal attachment. Like we couldn't be so sensitive that we were so protective of this stuff that we wouldn't allow any change. And so in doing so, we also realized we had to leave our ego at the door before we went to the studio. And it actually turned out to be easier than I thought it might be, for me in particular. But we all did that. It was an effort by everybody. And once we let go and let Nick take control, you know, we're putting our trust in a virtual stranger, but it didn't feel like that. It felt like, man, we're putting our trust in a guy that really knows what the hell he's doing and has nothing but the best intentions. And so we're like, dude, we're following you. Like, we're going to follow you throughout this whole thing. You are steering the ship. And you tell us what you need. And he would challenge us, but in such a way that it was inspiring. He'd be like, I like what you played there, but I think, or I know you have something more in you that could take it to another level. And all of a sudden you're like, that's awesome, you know? And it was fun. The process was so much fun. We laughed. We got excited like young kids again about the way everything was progressing. But we also got to a point where we were done with all the music for the record. And we had vocals done for about 2 or 3 songs. And there had been, amidst all this positivity and all of this, the joy that we were experiencing recording the way that we were recording, there had been for a while a divide starting to happen between ZP and the band. And we thought that as we got closer to the record, started making records, that those paths would converge again. And they didn't. They got wider.
Okay.
So we realized that we felt that we had exhausted all means of getting all of us together on kind of like the same page. And this is no slight on ZP whatsoever. He's a good guy, very talented, and I had a lot of fun with him. But it just was obvious to the band that we need to make a change. And talk about the most inopportune time to make a change in the band's
Totally.
life.
That's right.
With your record pretty close to being done. And so we all kind of looked at each other like we didn't have anybody in mind. We just knew that we would be wasting everybody's time, ZP included, if we continued.
Sure.
So we had been aware of Erik for quite some time. I was made aware of him in 2009 when he sang 18 in Life on Swedish Idol.
Yes, I hear about it.
Several years later, we would have different people that we respected in the music business saying, no, everything's going good, but if somehow it takes a turn for the worse, there's this guy in Stockholm, Sweden, that's incredible. Again, oh, okay, cool, thank you. Then in 2018, 2019, his band Heat opened up for us in Europe. And we never got a chance to hang out with him, but we saw him perform. We're like, this guy's great. He's really great. And then right around the time that we were, in this situation, he started posting a bunch of YouTube videos of him singing cover songs, whether it's Van Halen, Journey, Iron Maiden, Queen. And it was incredible. Like we watched that, really watched it, and we were like, this guy is extremely, extremely talented. So we all came up with the idea of, you know what, let's reach out to him and just say, you know what, we got a couple songs that, we wrote. We'd like to hear what you sound like on them. So we sent them the Gangs All Here. Rachel had DM'd him about that first. And then we sent them the musical bed for the Gangs All Here, and we explained to him like the melodies and stuff like that. And he came back like a day or two later, and he sent it to everybody, or he sent it to everybody, and we were all like, "Did you listen to this yet?" And of course, I was in an airport and waiting for a flight, and I'm like, I haven't listened to it. I don't have any privacy, and I didn't have earbuds or anything like that with me. So I had to go into the bathroom of the airport lounge and go into a stall and sit on the floor and hold it up to my ear. But I had the same reaction as everybody else, which was, holy shit.
Wow.
Like, this is a game changer. Like, this is next level stuff. But being the cynical people that we are, we sat there and said, let's send him a couple more songs just to be sure. And then we got him back again. We're like, he's great and he gets it. And this was, Nick Raskulin's included. And so Rachel and I got on a Zoom call with him and had a little small talk, and they were, Rachel goes, you know what, dude, how do you feel about being the new singer of Skid Row? And he put his head down, and we are both, later to find out, we were both like, he's going to say no, and he's too busy or whatever. And he lifted his head up and he goes, "It would be an honor." And we were like, "Yeah, you're in the band." Now, we're asking him to be in the band, never having played with him, never having really met him. And we have a residency with the Scorpions coming up and a record to finish.
Wow.
So, I mean,
that's the perfect timing.
No one does that, right? So, so again, you just trust your intuition and you hope for the best. And it turned out to be one of the best moves we've ever made. And so he finished 8 songs remotely. He was in Stockholm working with Nick remotely and us. And he finished 8 songs there. He flew to the United States on a Tuesday. We all met up in Las Vegas. Everybody got along great. We rehearsed Wednesday and Thursday, and it was like we had been doing this with him for a really long time. He had been really did his homework, and he same sense of humor as us, same influences, a great musician, good piano player, good guitar player, good songwriter. It was all the right things that we really needed at that particular time, and still will need every day. It's just we're very thankful and very lucky. And then he finished the last 2 songs in Las Vegas. But from the time he initially met us to that first show was 4 days. So it's unheard of.
Totally.
It's really unheard of. So, sometimes, the universe just works out in your favor. And it was serendipitous. There's no explanation for how all of it could work. It just did. And we're very thankful for it. And he has a positivity about him that is completely infectious and a great energy. And he's got an incredible story of his own of survival and really recognizing how to live in the moment. And I think that has had a great effect on the band as a whole.
Wow, Snake, thanks a lot for that long answer. You already put us clear all the camp. What can I say? It's divine justice. Skid Row deserved this moment, and you certainly did right. Nick is a great producer. The songs, brother, take me away. Songs like Time Bomb, for example, like you said, it brings you to the roots of Skid Row. Heavy songs like The World on Fire, I love it. Not Dead Yet, I love it.
Thank you.
Resurrected, you said it all with that song. I mean, I love it. The record is pretty solid. You guys must be so happy. This is the time.
Thank you. We are extremely happy. And we've gotten better as a band. I think we're very much a very cohesive unit right now. There's no drama. There's no turmoil. Everybody's doing this for the right reasons. It's never been about a paycheck. It's never been about the money. Really? It's been about the love of the music that you create. And it's about the love of playing music that you love with people that you love. And we've always maintained that. That's always been who we are. We always swore that once it wasn't fun anymore, we would stop doing it and figure out a way to make it fun again. And we've had to do that several times with different members of the band in the past. And that might not be the way it works for other bands, but that's just kind of the way it works with us. We've never been about the money. And so we made our decisions based on our happiness within within the walls of Skid Row. And right now, everybody is just really ecstatic and very happy and looking forward to the upcoming tour with Buck Cherry, and looking forward to making another record with Nick down the line. We've already started writing some songs for it. So
Wow.
it's been a shot of energy injected into the band by Erik's presence and his overall demeanor. And
Incredible. Yes, he's been like in for a year with Skid Row. You know, the time went so fast and a lot of things occur. And I was going to ask you that, but you already answered. You know, you are already working in new songs. I already saw videos of Skid Row live with Erik, and the way he treat the classic songs, he even do better than the originals. Hey man, this is something weird. Let me tell you, it's like the new Skid Row is the best revenge for the 2023, I guess. You know, it's been so long that we've been waiting for that Skid Row, and this is the time. How are the relationships with you with Scotty? You know, the two guitars that we love in the '90s,
thank you.
and you see the videos. You guys are more mature, so you guys have to be more wise. How this is working? You know, Rachel is playing killer bass. You know, I love the song. How's the name? The Resurrected have killer bass, and Time Bomb also. And when the lights comes down, he kicked jam with the bass.
Well, we had such a great time, not only like making the record, every aspect of it was awesome. You know, Scotty and I recorded our guitars together. We had the amps in the live room, or the cabinets, and loud, is unbelievably loud. And we were in
Wow.
the control room, Scotty and I with Nick, and Scotty and I were facing each other and just feeding off of each other's energy. We had never recorded like that before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome because Scotty and I have such a great relationship. And that extends to our music. And we've never had an argument about who should play what solo.
Excellent.
The song has always dictated it pretty clearly.
You can feel that.
In the times that there's been a few times, a couple, where either he or I started out playing the solo, and then we kind of didn't feel it, and we're like, man, you know what? Maybe in our history, I'm talking about, maybe you need to be playing that solo. I think that happened with Rattlesnake Shake. I think he was playing the original solo, and he wasn't feeling it. He just said, maybe you should do this. But that's only happened a few times in our history. So having that close relationship and respect for one another, I think that it helped us so much in our performances on the new record, and having that close proximity to one another, being able to feel the energy coming from the other person, and it's like this friendly competition. We both want to do better than the other guy, to push the other guy, and to make the song as best as we possibly can. And you know, we'd be sitting there behind Nick, and we get done with the take, and Nick would go to both sides, like over to Scotty's side, he'd go there, over to my side, he'd go like that. You know, so it was a lot of fun. And like I said before, Nick had challenged us on a level that I don't think that we've been challenged like in recent history. And so that was really inspiring, to have somebody who wasn't challenging you like a bully. He was challenging you like a cheerleader, like going to you and going, yes, you're almost there. I hear it within you, but you haven't quite articulated it yet. And then you go, okay, yeah, All right, man. Okay, cool. Watch me get this, like that type of thing. But always
I
with
know.
a smile, always with the best intentions.
Oh,
And
great, man.
it was just, it made us all better. It made us a better band. It made us better musicians, better performers, better writers.
Is Snake. You guys have print out lately a box set named The Atlantic Years. As you see in my bag, I collect vinyls since I was a kid. I have like 11,000 records,
It's
and
incredible. What a display. Yeah.
let me tell you, this album is very hard to get in the world, and I don't know if you know this history. This album came out in Colombia in vinyl, so you can get it here in Colombia, made in Colombia. But if you want to get this album made in the U.S. like this one, it costs you like $200. So I was pretty happy when I saw that you guys print this box set out. So whose idea? And I think it was great to have all the pack in once.
That was the record label. The record label came to us and said, we want to put out a box set of your time with Atlantic Records. And so we were like, great. Because the truth of the matter is with unfortunately, they can put out whatever they want with or without our approval. That's just the way the music business
That's the way that it is, yeah.
Unfortunately works. They own the masters to these records. So, but I felt very fortunate, we all did, that they would include us in this process. And everything that we got back from them, we liked and we approved, and we thought that given what they wanted to release and as far as they would go with it, they did a pretty okay job with it. I wish there was more in the box set. I wish there was DVDs of the home, things like that. I wish there were deeper cuts live, but we didn't have, by their timeline, we didn't have the necessary means to get that together, because they had a specific timeline that we were working on. It would have taken longer than we were allotted. That being said, I am thankful that they were able to release all that in one package.
You're certainly right. We need a Skid Row concert, like 2 hours of Skid Row concert on DVD. You're certainly right. I still have my my VHS. Say you can scream and all that. I love it. I would like to ask you about the in the new album. You have some guests. I read that there is Paul Taylor, Ryan Spencer. Tell us about it. It's interesting to find out these guys.
It's Paul Taylor is a really good friend of Rachel's. He's also the keyboard player, guitar player for Winger, and was in Alice Cooper's band as well. Yeah. Really good friend of Rachel's, and they both live pretty close to each other. And so we started going out and writing with different people that were our friends to get different perspectives, a sense of objectivity that maybe we didn't possess. And so Paul had this riff. That's Paul's riff, and he in the Gang's All Here. And Rachel calls me up because, dude, I'm over at Paul's, and he just played me this riff, and he goes, "It's so Skid Row." So he goes, "You gotta come down here. We've got to write this thing with Paul." And I was like, "Oh, great!" He sent me the riff. I was like, "Wow, it really is. Sounds like us." And then we got together and we finished the song relatively quickly, and we were really happy with the way it came out. So we were open to the idea of doing co-writes with other people, and it turned out to work out well for us. Ryan Spencer is one of the guitar players in Ace Frehley's band, but we've known Ryan for, oh my God.
Oh, New Jersey gang.
Well, Ryan lives in Nashville as well. So he's a great singer. And he used to sing in a band called Hair of the Dog. And we needed some background vocals done. And so Rachel grabbed him and brought him in there, and he sang his ass off.
Okay, Snake, before I let you go, two short questions. What the future for Skid Row? What you guys are going to do in the 2023?
Well, tour everywhere.
Perfect. You have to come to Colombia.
Yes, and I believe that is on the schedule, to be quite honest. I believe that's on the schedule. Yeah, we sat at home for so long during the pandemic that we really, really want to make up for lost time. And we want to celebrate, the live concert experience with everybody, that we're all able to get together again and celebrate life and celebrate music. And it's all about positivity. In our music, there's always a thread of positivity going through our songs, our lyrics, our music, and we just want to continue on that path. We love the fact, truly love the fact that we're able to play music for a living. It's incredible, and that's because of the fans. Without the fans, we don't get to play music for a living. And to be able to get out there and play in front of people and see smiles on their faces and see them singing the lyrics back to the songs, it's the most humbling experience. And we have nothing but gratitude for all the people who have stuck with us or maybe just now rediscovering the band or discovering us for the first time. Whatever it is, it's all positive and it's all good.
Hey, what a good vibe, Snake. Thanks a lot for your time. I can feel that in your new album, Long Live to Skid Row. And can you please give me a lineup, like saying, hey, this is Snake from Skid Row, and you are with Andy, that's me, in Rock Express. Sure. 33 years, brother, in January.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Excellent.
Okay, I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody, what's happening? This is Snake, and I'm with my good friend Andy right here on Rock Express. 33 years, baby.